This conference will now be recorded.
You're all set, Mayor.
Okay. Compliance with the Open Public Meetings Law, I wish to state that on August the 21st, 2020, the notice of this meeting of the Upper Township Committee was posted on the official Township Bulletin Board, the Upper Township website, and at the Town Hall foyer, mailed to the Cape May County Gazette, the Atlantic City Press, the Ocean City Sentinel Ledger, the Herald Times, and filed with the Township Clerk. Tonight's meeting is being audio recorded up until the closed session portion of this meeting and will be available on the Upper Township website. I hereby direct that this announcement be made a part of the minutes of this meeting. Barbara, if you would hold your flag up, we'll stand for the salute to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Barbara, would you call the roll, please?
Mr. Barr? Can you hear me? Mr. Barr?
Your mic.
Hello?
Is my-
Oh. Mr. Barr?
Turn your mic on, Ed.
His mic is on.
Okay. All right, Mr. Barr is present. We can see him. Okay, Mr. Coggins?
Here.
Mr. Corson?
Present.
Mr. Young?
Here.
And Mayor Palumbo?
Here.
If I may interject, before we continue, we should make sure Mr. Barr, Ed, we can hear you. So something needs to be done. We can't hear him, Paul.
Yeah, nothing's on our end. He's unmuted. And he did a sound check earlier. We had him earlier. No.
So Paul, would it make sense for Ed to dial in with a phone? We can see him virtually, and then also, we can hear him through audio.
That's probably what he's going to have to do.
Hey Ed, is your speaker thing, if you look at on the right hand side of your laptop or what, is that up to full capacity? And then also on the bottom, is the mic red or green on the bottom of the screen?
Yeah, it's green.
Okay. All right. Do you have the dial-in number, Ed? Oh, we lost him totally.
No, we look.
He's probably going to re-log in.
Okay. We'll wait for a minute for Mr. Barr to join us.
Now.
Hey.
Oh, he might be having the same problems I had initially.
No, but he was in earlier.
I just gave him the number. He's dialing in. So
Can you hear me now?
yeah.
Yep.
All right. Right. Does he need to mute his visual?
Probably what's giving the feedback. Yeah.
Ed, why don't you mute your video?
There you go.
Okay, perfect. All right.
There you go.
We're getting to be technical gurus here. All right. Would someone like to approve the minutes from August the 10th, the regular session and closed session minutes?
So moved. Motion to approve?
Is there any corrections, omissions, or deletions that anyone's aware of? All right, hearing none. Would you call the roll, please?
Mr. Barr,
Yeah.
Mr. Coggins,
Yes.
Mr. Corson,
Yes.
Mr. Young,
Yes.
Mayor Palumbo.
Yes.
Motion is carried. All in favor?
All right, so we have today Miss New Jersey's outstanding team, Isabella, and I'm going to say is it Fuent? Is that how you say your last name?
It's Freund.
Okay, Isabella, sorry.
Don't worry.
And she has a presentation to show us. So is there anything you'd like to say, Isabella, before we start the presentation?
Yes. So I just wanted to, the video is going to basically introduce myself and my involvement with the Miss America's Outstanding Teen Organization and specifically the Make-A-Wish organization, which is my platform. So this video is just going to explain how I chose my platform, how I got involved in the Miss America's Outstanding Teen Organization, and why Make-A-Wish is so important to me. So if anyone has any questions at all, we can answer those after the video. That's it.
All right, sounds like a plan.
Hello, everyone. My name is Isabella Freund, and I'm
Hang on a second.
You're all doing well. A lot of information about me. I currently attend Bush High School and now at camp. I'm Miss America's Outstanding Teen Organization. Miss America's Outstanding Teen is America's election competition. It's a sister to Miss America organization and it aims to promote scholastic achievement, creative accomplishment, healthy living, and community involvement on our students. I know I'm a person who is a New Jersey competition as well. You interview, time, fitness, yeah, is also listed to also. In order to be the association impact initiative. You don't know what the social impact initiative is. It's something that you care about, or something that you're passionate about. For example, the National is a children's marathon. This is my personal social impact, Make-A-Wish. So what is Make-A-Wish? I'm sure you've heard of it before. But the mission of the Make-A-Wish Foundation is to create life-changing wishes for children with critical illnesses. So what can you wish for? There are 5 different wishes. Actually, should go, I should leave, and I should get. For example, I should be the admin, I should have a money, I should go to Disney, I should be the activity, and I should be my favorite team. Everything's on top, my neighbors just so important to me. I can tell you all how I wish all I will ask in love hearts. It's basically being able to outside the top and everything. Because I think the life is the reason more than you. This all kind of for English experience. Sometimes no one to be met in your tongues and want to be up on the street. And you live in the most important person in life. Teammate, obviously Antonio knows which I want to get all of it. It's a really time to share out. So I'm going to share out this to learn three more words. The first generation English. So I think the importance of conversation and honestly the referral process. Our generation English learners say without having with them. The mission of English Foundation is to create life-changing English for children and critical illnesses. However, this is just so important. Simply put, English are more than just a nice name. Because the which it has and shows how Christians directly impact the health and well-being of children who are by their illnesses. So, this agreement is important to realize that national support. Professional state, which is the influence Christians in health. We understand parents observe an increased willingness by their child to comply with gender roles. Study of parents say that should start a turning point in their career. 99% of parents say that their children are happier. Whereas 10% of parents say that their families are restricted after marriage. And 7% of residents on increasing their children's emotional health. Here's the random job performance saying health and kids at home. The only way to explain it, but we should not consider. The other way was just how so incredibly important. This brings me to the fact of our social impact. Individual contributions, donations, grants, and other things. It also relied on in-kind contributions, as well as the cost of goods and services. So, kids were kids. It's like they have that in their community. The kids were kids for engaged students, schools, youth organizations, employee education, and service activities. And how they should live in English. The program offers community service, leadership, and teamwork. It helps kids through and students hands-on experience in fundraising, life-changing coaches for children learning critical illnesses. For behavior programs, I have great safety.
How's the audio for you guys?
It was a little off and I apologize for that.
Okay,
But I think we all got the gist of,
okay.
you know, the good work that you're doing with the Make-A-Wish Foundation and the things that, you know, people can do to help contribute and, you know, play a part in this Make-A-Wish Foundation. What I will promise you is that we can take your video and we will post it on our website so that and our Facebook page, so that'll be available for others to view when they come on the website. I know that you had what appeared to me was you know, ways that you can contribute. And so again, although the audio was, you know, somewhat hard to understand, and I apologize for that. We're just not quite technologically inclined to do some of these multitasking. We're happy that we're even on the Zoom call, but under normal circumstances, it would be a different story if we were in Township Hall. But I certainly can appreciate all that you're doing. And again, we will make sure that that video of you and your presentation will be on our website. So
I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Congratulations.
have any
Thank you.
questions of Isabella? Or
What was that?
I was just asking if anyone would like to ask you a question from the Township Committee.
Is that video available on YouTube?
Yes, it is. Yeah,
And
so that should be under just, if you look up my name, Isabella Freund, that should be the first video that pops up.
Okay, thank you very much.
Of course.
Congratulations.
Isabella,
Isabella.
can I ask where you're at in your grade level now? Because that was a little
Yeah.
hard to, I know you were at Ocean City, but
Yes, so I'm going into my junior year at Ocean City High School.
okay. And how long does your reign continue, or how long are you, how long are you in for?
So I was crowned back in January at Clayton High School, and that was supposed to last just a year, so until next January of 2021. But because my national pageant, I'm supposed to go to Miss America's Outstanding Teen and then represent New Jersey. That's been pushed to next summer. So I get to hold this title for an extra year. So I'm very excited.
Congratulations.
We wish you all the luck.
Thank
And
you.
if there's anything the township can do to help facilitate your cause, we'd be more than happy to help you.
Thank you.
And we're always very proud to have goodwill ambassadors that come from our area. So thank you so much. You're welcome to leave so that you can attend to probably a lot of other things that you have that you need to take care of. But we certainly want to wish you well for your remainder, which I guess sounds like almost a year of representing your title, so the Miss New Jersey Outstanding Teen. So congratulations again.
Thank you so much. Thank you everyone for listening. I apologize about the audio. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you for
and good
working
luck.
hard for the kids that need something. They have enough going on, and I'm sure you're a big help to help them get through all their issues. So
Yes. All right. Thank you so much. Have a good night, everyone.
Good
you
night.
too.
Good night.
Bye.
All right. So let's go around the table. Scott, do you have anything for us this evening?
Yeah, good evening, Mayor, committee members. Just a few things tonight. We'll start out with our COVID-19 update from the Cape May County Health Department. Cape May County Health Department is reporting 0 new positive cases among county residents as of today's date, which is great news. 5 new out-of-county positive cases that are included in the non-resident active case list. Presently today, as far as New Jersey is concerned, we've had 189,719 total COVID-19 positive cases and 14,120 deaths. Cape May County currently has 1,080 positive cases and including 85 deaths. The township alone has a total of 6 new cases, 3 fatalities since the beginning of this public health pandemic, and a total of 119 county total cases for Upper Township. The next thing I'd like to report on is a follow-up from Tropical Storm Isaias. We have submitted, the township had submitted as of last week, its preliminary damage assessment of somewhere in the neighborhood of $1.6 million. We found out at the end of last week that the New Jersey threshold for damage for this particular storm was exceeded, which is good information, and basically means that the governor will be preparing the overall preliminary damage assessment and pushing it forward to the president for a potential declaration. With that, if there is a declaration signed, we will finalize our damage assessment reports with all the purchase orders and overtime and equipment used during this emergency. And hopefully that'll, the end result of that will be basically long-term, or low interest long-term loans for those individuals in the state of New Jersey and our community. I'd like to also remind everyone as far as our collection is concerned for our brush, which there is a quite sizable amount of brush still out on our alongside our roadways in many of the different streets of Upper Township. I'd like to, from a public safety standpoint, remind everybody when you're cleaning your properties to put the debris piles on the curb line. Try not to, I know some of these piles are very large. Please try not to infringe upon the actual lane of traffic. Basically what happens, obviously, from a safety standpoint, that shouldn't happen, but it causes an issue with pedestrians walking on the shoulder of some of our roadways, and we don't want anybody getting injured as a result of a motor vehicle accident because of having to walk around these piles. So keep that in mind. Also, please keep in mind that our Public Works crew is out there every day. We will continue until all the brush is collected. I will say between the 17th of August, which is when we started our brush collection, and the reason why we started it on the 17th is because we wanted to give everybody at least a full week, which included a weekend, to get out there after the storm and do your cleanup. So between the 17th and the 21st, we had a total of 96,480 pounds of compost and 378,160 pounds of brush. That translates to a total of a little over 48 tons of compost and 189 tons of brush in just the first week alone. We worked on Saturday, which was an additional 52,840 pounds of compost and 65,520 pounds of brush. And then today, of course, we tallied that entire amount, and we had a total of 74.66 tons of compost and 258.71 tons of brush in that 7-day period of time. So needless to say, we are out there. Our Public Works team is doing a great job, and just be patient. We will be around to continue our collection process. So, that is all I have for you this evening, Mayor.
Okay, thank you, Scott. Barbara Young, do you have anything for us this evening?
Nothing to report this evening, sir. Thank you, though.
Daniel?
Nothing at this time.
Paul?
Thank you, Mayor. The only thing I want to report on first was last week we had our that first flood insurance promotion meeting. It was, for a virtual meeting, it was very well attended. Besides our insurance stakeholders that we had on the call, we probably had almost 20 residents call in to learn a little bit more about flood insurance, and what we were kind of promoting was, besides the importance of having flood insurance, but we were trying to promote ways that you could try to save on your policy besides what the CRS discount gives them. And so I've actually had some follow-up calls, some people that couldn't make the meeting, but also one resident that called in and said, thanks for everything and the information you gave me. She saved $250 on her insurance policy from the information that we gave her. So I think it was a very positive meeting, and hopefully we can continue doing those in the future. On another flood hazard issues, I would like to make a public announcement that we're going to have a flood hazard management planning meeting on Tuesday, September 15th at 9 o'clock. It'll be a call-in session. It'll be on this public call-in session here to discuss different flood hazard mitigation activities that we are looking at incorporating into our flood mitigation plan and the county's all hazard county mitigation plan. So we'll put some information up on the website about that, as well as doing some public outreach regarding that. And that's all I had for this evening, Mayor.
Thank you. Barbara Ludi.
Good evening. I have nothing, Mayor. Thank you.
Okay. Committeeman Coggins.
Nothing specifically to report. However, I do want to pass along that I've gotten quite a few very positive comments about what our Public Works Department has been doing out there with the brush cleanup. One gentleman, especially from Esperanza, was very impressed with what a clean street they left behind after getting through that development. So just keep up the good work, guys. I know you're working hard.
Okay, thank you. Committeeman Young.
First, and then we'll probably touch on it later, Rich, to say my condolences to this Klepak family on his passing this week. Everybody knew Ted, and he was very active and taught most of us. So big loss, but he's finally at peace. So just everybody keep his family in their prayers. We decided that in meeting that we are carrying through with our sports programs for the fall. Everybody understands that they must social distance. They must wear their mask as much as we can get them to wear them, and that this is all tentative. And the baseball, football, and soccer will be a go starting on September the 9th. We're still working on our recreation programs as far as soccer, and that's really the only program we have in the fall, because baseball is mostly all travel for the fall. Talking again with Rich and Barbara Young and Larry, we're going to cancel the fireworks for this year. And at this time, I'm going to cancel the car show that we had scheduled for October the 24th. Not knowing where we're going to head with this with COVID and when the restrictions will be released on us, the amount of work that we have to put into this for an unknown is just astronomical. So we're just going to cancel for now. If something happens later on in the season and we can have a special event of some type, we'll put that together at that time. So other than that, that's all I have.
Okay, thank you. Deputy Mayor Barr.
Yeah, I'd also like to pass on my personal condolences to the Klepak family. Mr. Klepak, I know upon meeting him the first times and walking the halls of Ocean City High School, he was a very well-known history teacher and coach. And he's also served this community not only as a teacher, but with Upper Township on the zoning board. He's also was a public relations officer here, and he's done a lot for the township. Also as a fireman, he also was a volunteer fireman. So I know Mr. Klepak has left his impression on many a young man and woman in Ocean City High School, both students and athletes. And I know myself, sometimes we didn't see eye to eye politically. We had our differences, but it was always fun to, run into him here and there. You'd either run into him at the Acme or he'd be down at Beasley's Point Beach. And, he's, or of course, one of his mainstays was Dino's Diner. So he made his rounds. Again, he's going to be missed in the community, especially in his neighborhood. And again, condolences to his family and that he rest in peace. Thank you. That's all I have, Mr. Mayor.
Okay, thank you. Committeeman Corson.
Same thing. I'd like to pass my condolences on to the Klepak family. Ted was a great guy, a fixture in our community. He will be missed. I'd also like to thank the Public Works Department. They've done an outstanding job through the cleanup. I mean, I've heard a lot of people commenting, a lot of people saying good things about what's gotten done. So it's going to be a long road cleaning up this debris, and hopefully it'll be cleaned up before the next storm. That's all I have at this time.
And I'll echo the sentiment of my colleagues for both Mr. Klepak and Public Works. Only I'm hoping there won't be another storm that we need to clean off from. So it really has been a momentous task to get to where we are, and it will continue to be that way. And I think just most folks have to, bear with us a little bit. We are making a lot of progress, but there's a lot of weight that's being moved around between all these limbs and branches, and tree stumps and everything else that have come down. So, just bear with us. They're making great progress. We have gone ahead and approved overtime, so they're working 6 days a week, half day on Saturday because the landfill closes by noon, but they're out there at 6 o'clock in the morning on Saturday. So, for those that are waiting for their particular location to be picked up, we will be there soon. And I know Scott has them posted. Scott and Paul have it posted on our website for their progress and where they're going. So other than that, I don't have anything else as well. So Barbara, would you please move forward with the resolutions?
Item number 2 on the agenda, commemorating the 19th anniversary of September 11th, 2001.
Move the resolution?
Second.
And I'll just add that I believe Osprey Point is planning on having an activity with some of our local volunteer fire companies at their field in front of Osprey Point, the veterans field that's there, so that there'll be proper distancing and those kind of things. They don't anticipate getting anywhere near the number of capacity. So in case you're wondering, they are planning on doing something there, and I think it's going to be at 10 a.m. So would you call the roll?
Mr. Barr?
Yes.
Mr. Coggins?
Yes.
Mr. Corson?
Yes.
Mr. Young?
Yes.
Mayor Palumbo?
Yes.
Motion is carried. And number 3, authorizing the award of a contract with Alternative Micrographics for document management software and document scanning services.
Motion to authorize.
Second.
Any discussion? Would you call the roll?
Mr. Barr?
Yes.
Mr. Coggins?
Yes.
Mr. Corson?
Yes.
Mr. Young?
Yes.
And Mayor Palumbo.
Yes.
Motion is carried. Item number 4, appointing Donald Polo as school traffic guard.
Move the resolution.
Second.
Second.
Mr. Barr?
Yes.
Mr. Coggins?
Yes.
Mr. Corson?
Yes.
Mr. Young?
Yes.
Mayor Palumbo?
Yes.
Motion is carried with all in favor. Item number 5, authorizing participation in the South Jersey Power Cooperative for electric supply service.
Motion to authorize.
Second.
And Barbara,
Mr. Barr?
Ludi, this is something we've used in the past.
Yes, that's correct, Mayor. This is probably maybe our 5th or 6th term with this. Most of the time it's 2 years, sometimes it's 1 year, but we have seen a savings, a decrease in our electric rates with each term of this, with each bid.
Okay, well, we always want to do that. So would you call the roll, please?
Mr. Barr?
Yes.
Mr. Coggins?
Yes.
Mr. Corson?
Yes.
Mr. Young?
Yes.
And Mayor Palumbo.
Yes.
Motion is carried. 6, authorizing a contract with Atlantic Investigations, LLC for alcohol and controlled substances training and testing programs.
Motion to approve?
Second.
Mr. Barr?
Yes.
Mr. Coggins?
Yes.
Mr. Corson?
Yes.
Mr. Young?
Yes.
Mayor Palumbo?
Yes.
Motion is carried with all in favor. Item number 7, appointing Ruderman and Roth LLC and Mark S. Ruderman Esquire to act as special legal counsel in employment and labor law matters.
Motion to approve?
Second.
Mr. Barr,
Yes.
Mr. Coggins,
Yes.
Mr. Corson,
Yes.
Mr. Young,
Yes.
Mayor Palumbo.
Yes.
Motion is carried. 8, authorizing the mayor and township clerk to sign a contract with Shore Animal Control Services, LLC, for animal control services in Upper Township.
Move the resolution.
Second?
Second.
Mr. Barr,
Yes.
Mr. Coggins,
Yes.
Mr. Corson,
Yes.
Mr. Young,
Yes.
and Mayor Palumbo.
Yes.
Motion is carried. 9, certification of costs for abatement of nuisance on Block 549, Lot 85.
Move the
Motion to-
resolution.
Second?
Okay.
Okay, Mr. Barr,
Yes.
Mr. Coggins,
Yes.
Mr. Corson,
Yes.
Mr. Young,
Yes.
and Mayor Palumbo.
Yes.
Motion is carried. Item number 10, certification of costs for abatement of nuisance on Block 653.01, Lot 4.
Motion to authorize.
Second.
Second?
Mr. Barr,
Yes.
Mr. Coggins,
Yes.
Mr. Corson,
Yes.
Mr. Young,
Yes.
Mayor Palumbo.
Yes.
Motion is carried. 11, authorizing the award of a contract with Bergey's Trucks Incorporated, Bergey's Truck Centers for automotive parts and repairs.
Motion to approve?
Second.
Mr. Barr,
Yes.
Coggins,
Yes.
Mr. Corson,
Yes.
Mr. Young,
Yes.
Mayor Palumbo.
Yes.
Motion is carried. 12, authorizing the purchase of add-on services pursuant to the contract with Ansero LLC for professional information technology services.
Motion to authorize.
Second.
Mr. Barr,
Yes.
Mr. Coggins,
Yes.
Mr. Corson,
Yes.
Mr. Young,
Yes.
Mayor Palumbo.
Yes.
Motion is carried. 13, tax refund for Block 453, Lot 240.18.
Motion to approve.
Second?
Mr. Barr,
Yes.
Mr. Coggins,
Yes.
Mr. Corson,
Yes.
Mr. Young,
Yes.
Mayor Palumbo.
Yes.
Motion is carried. All in favor? 13, authorizing a building and electrical permit fee refund to COP Electric for 5 Lexington Court in Upper Township.
Motion to approve.
Second?
Mr. Barr,
Yes.
Mr. Coggins,
Yes.
Mr. Corson,
Yes.
Mr. Young,
Yes.
Mayor Palumbo.
Yes.
Motion is carried. 15, authorizing the release of a performance bond for owner and/or developer Giorgetti Investments LLC, Giorgetti Construction, and W. Scott Giorgetti for major subdivision Queen Anne Court at Block 567, Lot 55.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Mr. Barr,
Yes.
Mr. Coggins,
Yes.
Mr. Corson,
Yes.
Mr. Young,
Yes.
and Mayor Palumbo.
Yes.
Motion's carried. We're all in favor. Item number 16, requesting the County of Cape May to designate Commonwealth Avenue, County Route 619 in the Township of Upper a tow-away zone.
Move the resolution.
Second.
Second.
And this is from Putman all the way down to the border of CO, right? Paul?
Correct.
Okay. I just wanted so that the folks that are on, that are listening know the area that we're talking about for the request to the county. Let's call the roll.
Mr. Barr,
Yes.
Mr. Coggins,
Yes.
Mr. Corson,
Yes.
Young,
Yes.
Mayor Palumbo.
Yes.
Motion is carried. Favor. Item number 17, authorizing imposition of a municipal lien upon 1786 and 1790 Mount Pleasant Road, except Block 296, Lot 1, related to junk removal and breach of prior settlement agreement.
Move the
Move the
resolution.
resolution.
Second.
Mr. Barr,
Yes.
Mr. Coggins,
Yes.
Mr. Corson,
Yes.
Mr. Young,
Yes.
and Mayor Palumbo.
Yes.
Motion is carried. Item number 18, under new business, Tuckahoe Volunteer Fire Company requests to hold raffle number 534 at 2170 Route 50 in Tuckahoe on December 6, 2020, from 11 a.m. until 11:30 a.m.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Mr. Barr,
Yes.
Mr. Coggins,
Yes.
Mr. Corson,
Yes.
Mr. Young,
Yes.
and Mayor Palumbo.
Yes.
Motion is carried.
All right. Would someone like to make a motion to pay the bills?
I hereby move that all claims submitted for payment at this meeting be approved and then incorporated into the full minutes of this meeting.
Second.
Mr. Barr,
Yes.
Mr. Coggins,
Yes.
Mr. Corson,
Yes.
Mr. Young,
Yes.
Mayor Palumbo.
Yes.
Motion's carried.
There is but one report from our municipal departments from our municipal court. That will be available upon request through the clerk's office. But I'll make a motion to accept that report.
Second.
Mr. Barr,
Yes.
Mr. Coggins,
Yes.
Mr. Corson,
Yes.
Mr. Young,
Yes.
and Mayor Palumbo.
Yes.
Motion's carried.
So at this time, we've reached the public comment portion of the meeting. I would ask anyone would like to address the township committee to, we'll try and, have a little facilitating on taking calls. But I'd ask that you state your name and your address and your reason for addressing the township committee. So I'll ask who would like to go first.
I will, Mayor. It's Linda Bateman. Blanche, did you want to say anything? We usually go alphabetically. Okay.
We
my
do,
name-
Linda. Thank you for
thanks.
that opportunity, but I have nothing to add tonight. Thank you.
Okay, thanks. Linda Bateman, 14 East Tecumseh, Strathmere, and the president of the Strathmere Improvement Association. I had a follow-up question to the towing. Is there a designated towing company that will be on call, or will the state police have to wait, as Lieutenant Henry told me, 45 minutes on average for a tow truck to get there?
We don't have it. If I may answer that, the township doesn't presently have a towing ordinance. We are anticipating a meeting with the state police to see how this will be coordinated once it's implemented. We may have to adopt a towing ordinance, but that's to be determined as to the input that we get from the state police.
And it is something that we looked at, but certainly if it's determined we need an ordinance, we'll go through that process. But we do plan on having signs posted in that area about cars will be towed if illegally parked. So.
Okay, thank
Well,
you. And
right now, we've asked the county to do it. It's the county road. They're the ones that have to pass the resolution. We asked to pass the resolution asking them to do it.
That's correct.
Exactly.
So it may not. It's up to the county. It may not happen. I hope it happens, but it may not happen.
okay. And Mr. Morey had said that he was going to reach out to the county engineer's office about getting it's not called stenciling, but the heat transfer markings onto the lane. And I was wondering, Scott Morgan, if you had heard anything.
Nothing additional from the last time that I received your email, Linda.
Okay, thank you. And one last thing, I just wanted to update you, Mayor Palumbo, and the Township Committee on Saturday's final SIA meeting of the season. We had 75 people on a Zoom call, and thanks to Paul Dietrich, we were able to have the architect for the new motel plans, the new motel construction come and give us an overview of what the owner is thinking about. The owner chose not to participate. It was, the plans are not complete. We didn't see anything, but he gave a little presentation, talked for maybe 5 or 10 minutes, and then took questions from people in the audience. It was cordial, informative. I would say that I'm always amazed at the talents that people in Strathmere have, and the questions that were asked were wonderful. I would hope that the Township Committee has an opportunity to be as briefed as well as we feel we were. He obviously couldn't answer questions like how much is a room going to cost or any of the legal things, but he certainly told us what the building structure would look like. It's as you know, it took us 2 years with the planning board and with a paid through our taxes with a consultant, not to mention all the hours that Paul and other people put in to get our new ordinance passed. And we were beyond dismayed to learn of the fate of this, that it will skip the planning board and go to the zoning board because of the use variance. So our first major challenge to this, to our new ordinance, and it's filled with every kind of variance request that just flies in the face of all the work and all the money and the spirit of trying to preserve some of the overdevelopment in Strathmere. So just wanted to let you know that it happened, that we are all concerned, and we are trying to learn as much as we can. We understand that we'll know relatively soon whether the zoning board will get to this in September, and that's dependent on the plans being turned in. Anyway, it was quite a meeting, and I would say he spoke for, as I said, maybe about 10 minutes, and we were probably 45 minutes to an hour listening and discussing, and we learned a lot, and we have a lot more clarity. It's a major project, and if things go as described to us, just picture 2 motels stacked on top of each other and then add on another 4 or 5 feet, because the motel now is 18 feet. That would be 36 stacked on top. And then he in places will be over 44 feet, or approximately 40 to 44 feet, depending on which things we're looking at. It will now be more than a half a block wide. It will go from Sumner to Sherman and take up the entire block with decks in the back and cottages overlooking a cottage. So it's a dramatic change. And it's the thing that we've been dreading and frankly fighting against, to keep to the zoning as it's written, and to keep the integrity of our town, and to keep us why people come and why people stay and pay taxes and care about their properties. So that's more than I wanted to say, but just wanted to ask you to please be sure that you take a look at the plans as soon as they're available to you, as we plan to do as well.
Linda, if I may interject, it's probably not proper for the township committee to get involved in a pending zoning board application. That's a function of the zoning board. So I just want to make it clear that the township committee really doesn't have jurisdiction over that application.
Yes, I'm aware. Thank you. But you are taxpayers and residents. I think you have a right to see the plans as well. I would not expect you to intervene and do anything, but just would like you to take a look and see what we're talking about. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Would anyone else like to address the Township Committee?
Yes, I would. This is David Cummings, 1808 South Commonwealth Avenue in Whale Beach. I just wanted to thank you all for bringing up the parking and the towing issue on Commonwealth. I raised that at the last meeting, and I appreciate your seeing that to move it forward to the county and work on improving our compliance with parking here in Strathmere. So that's my first comment. Second comment, I'd just like to reinforce what Linda Bateman said. I participated in that meeting this week and listened to the developer talk about the plan. And, I think one of the major concerns is the height, and asking for a variance for the height is a significant issue for many, many residents in Strathmere. It's not the only issue, but it's significant. And I think the other concern we have is, we've spent the last 2 years working on a building ordinance and trying to get something that was a negotiated agreement between builders and the township residents and everybody else. And as Linda said, the first project through the gate now is going to ask for major variances to that. And it's very disheartening. And frankly, I think people are going to get involved in that, a significant number of people in terms of comments to the township. And also, we are worried that that sets a tone for future development. If variances upon variances are going to be requested and approved by the township, why have a building ordinance in the first place? Nobody's going to follow it. So that is the major concern. I understand the township doesn't have any control over the zoning committee, but I think you as leaders of the township need to get involved in this and try to direct us to the right outcome with this thing, because this is the first project that's going to test the new ordinance, and we're very concerned about it. So just reinforcing what Linda said.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone else that would like to address the Township Committee?
Yes, this is Lisa Carr, 33 East Webster in Strathmere. I would like to second David Cummings on both the parking and the hotel. I don't want to go on at length, but we appreciate your actions with respect to the parking and the issues that go with that, and look forward to seeing everything roll out and having future conversations with you regarding how to best manage things in the town. And with respect to the hotel, I also participated in the township meeting and am concerned that after all the work that everyone put in, so many members of the community, the employees of the township, and an outside consultant, that we have a big project that's immediately, they advise, going to go for 4 variances. So we will wait to see what comes up with the zoning committee, but we are concerned, and we did want to bring that to your attention. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else? Just making sure that someone's not on mute, and or is on mute and trying to address us. Okay, it appears that there's no additional public comment. I appreciate all the comments this evening on behalf of the Township Committee. And I would like to now close the public portion of the meeting and entertain a motion to go into executive session.
I hereby move that a resolution be incorporated into the minutes authorizing the Township Committee to enter into an executive session for the following matters pursuant to the Open Public Meetings Act. The matters are contract negotiation with QAR EMS Collections, with tax lien assignment, with construction office secretary, with conflict assessor, and also personnel. I also include in my motion the estimated time and the circumstances under which the discussion conducted in closed session can be disclosed to the public as follows. It is anticipated that the matters discussed in closed session may be disclosed to the public upon the determination of the Township Committee that the public interest will no longer be served by such confidentiality. With respect to employment and personnel matters, such discussions will be made public if and when formal action is taken or when the individuals involved consent that it can be made public. With respect to contract negotiations, such matters will be made public when negotiations have ceased and there is no longer a reason for confidentiality.
Second. Would you call the roll, please? Oh, before we do that, I know Dan wants to make a statement that our live video feed will continue to stay on. We'll go to executive session and come back into open session in the event that we need something that needs to be voted on or whatever. Is that correct?
Yes, and we'll come back to close out the meeting, whether or not there's any action from closed session or not. Paul just posted the notice.
Okay. So would you call the roll, please, Barbara?
Mr. Barr,
Yes.
Mr. Coggins,
Yes.
Mr. Corson,
Yes.
Mr. Young,
Yes.
Mayor Colombo.
Yes. Thank
Motion
you
is
all
carried.
for joining the call this evening, and I wish you all a great week. Hopefully at some point we'll return to normal and be able to hold the meetings as we have in the past at the Township Hall. So have a good evening.
Welcome back.
Aye.
Hi, Scott. Anybody else on here?
Rich is probably still in the other.
See everybody but Rich. There he is. Okay. Have everybody? 1, 2, 3,
Just missing Ed.
4.
Ed.
Ed.
Oh, there he comes. I'm here.
There he is.
I'm back. You can't see me, but I'm here.
Okay.
We can hear you.
We're lucky.
All right, so I'll make a motion to come out of executive session and go into open session.
Second.
Would you call the roll?
Okay. Mr. Barr?
Yes.
Mr. Coggins?
Yes.
Mr. Corson?
Yes.
Mr. Young?
Yes.
And Mayor Palumbo?
Yes.
Motion is carried.
So we don't have anything to vote on. I'll make a motion that we adjourn from open session.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Meeting's adjourned.
Good night, everyone.
Adjourned.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Hey.